Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Ethan.
I watched the first half of Leprechaun 4 in space.
I watched the second half of Leprechaun 4 in space.
And this is the other half. In space. Watch till you can't. Oh boy, this is how you know.
This is it, baby.
This is how you know the series has gone downhill.
Buddy,
is when it goes way up.
When it goes way up.
When it goes to space.
But you know what? Just like Hellraiser, they always tempt you. You're like, I want to go to space. I want to see that.
Well, remember we also saw Jason X.
Jason X was a lot of fun.
I think what we should do by the end of this episode is rank the 3 movies that we've seen where...
I could easily do that right now.
Oh, you want to do it right now?
I'm do it right now.
Let's do it right now.
Number 1, Jason X.
Jason X. Obviously, Jason X
Number
is
2.
number 1. Number 2, Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
Yes, this one is absolutely garbage. This is the fucking worst. This is so bad.
This felt like watching a Stargate and Star Trek episode combined, minus the 1,000. I don't know. It was terrible.
This is like when you're sick at home and you have a fever and you turn on sci-fi and you just keep falling asleep and waking up and you're not really sure what's going on.
But there's people with guns.
But then the Leprechaun shows up and you're like, am I watching a different movie?
Yeah. It's boy, this one is rough.
This is really bad. And what I love about this movie too is like every time they enter a new like set, I'm like, what was this built for?
Yes,
it wasn't for this.
Because let me tell you, this is the most setty ass set I've ever like seen in my life. Like they did it in space because they're like, well, that means we don't have any exterior shots we have to make.
Right.
Because we just have everything in like a contained environment.
But like, it really feels like these are recycled sets. Like these are probably from like Battlestar Galactica or whatever, Deep Space Nine.
I feel like a lot of these were built.
You think they were built for this?
Like quite a few were probably built for this.
That would be.
There were some that are really bad. I mean, there definitely probably are some that are reused for sure.
Yeah.
But it's literally probably like they're on a studio, they have access to some prop department.
Yeah.
They'll just pull those props out, be like, whatever, this looks like some sci-fi shit, you know.
I think there's only one thing that's built for this movie, and it's the German guy.
That German guy is definitely engineered for this movie.
And I think everything else was just found. I think everything else was like, what do we have lying around? We have these fucking futuristic looking guns.
Yeah.
Because like, why would they do this? Why would they go like, oh, I know where we want it? Because like, what's so upsetting is like the last movie was such a good idea.
It was such a perfect idea.
Like literally just find fun places for the Leprechaun to show up. Like where it's like money is a factor, right?
Yeah.
Like we're something we didn't really touch on in the last episode is like, obviously, like Scott is not just dealing with the fact that he got bit by a leprechaun. He's dealing with the fact that like he's greedy, right? And so like the idea of greed and the idea of like what the leprechaun represents can work in like harmoniousness.
Yeah. Here he's just a random monster guy that's just running around.
He could be fucking anything. Like he could literally just be an alien or some shit.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And obviously it doesn't matter. But like it's upsetting because like the last one showed you that all you needed to do was like find a place to put the leprechaun that's funny. Like,
yes.
Can we come up with a fun place to put a leprechaun?
What's a fun place to put a leprechaun? I don't know, in a bank.
Ah!
Banks are pretty funny.
Boom.
People love it. Oh, corporate
Fort
boardroom.
Knox.
Ooh, Fort Knox. Good one.
Tons of
Good
fucking
one.
gold.
Fucking Atlantis. Atlantis probably has a bunch of gold in there, I imagine.
Sure.
Right?
Egypt.
Oh, Egypt. Oh,
where
back in time.
You could get like the pharaohs or like a pharaoh's like gold.
Okay.
Shit like that,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in like old timey. It could be like the mummy where like they show up, you know, trying to like excavate.
Yeah.
And then the leprechaun shows up.
Yeah, somehow they cut the leprechaun there.
That makes way more fucking
here's
sense.
the thing. You could even do in space. It'd be interesting. What if they were at a mining colony or something where there's like a whole bunch of people being greedy and, you know, the corporations that have taken over the world are, you know, mining this place for excess.
Yeah.
And Leprechaun, like, they're like, oh, we'll just take this fucking gold. And they lock it up in their little vault. And then Leprechaun finds it and is just like, I'm going to fuck these little CEO motherfuckers up.
Yeah.
These little space guys. And then just runs around killing them. That'd be interesting.
That would be great.
Here is just bizarre. It's like they literally had like another script, I bet.
Yeah.
And then we're like, what if we just made
it really feels like late stage Hellraiser in that way, right? Where it's like, we had a story. What can we do with this? Let's put the leprechaun in it.
Exactly.
It's just what upsets me. It's like there's so many avenues you could take this fucking character before you leave Earth.
Yeah.
This is literally a cartoon character. Like put him anywhere on Earth.
To be fair, the fourth Hellraiser is when they did go to space.
No, it's true, but like I don't know.
But there's also they did interesting things with that.
Yeah, they it didn't. Also, space was like half of the movie.
That's true.
A third of the movie, right?
The
like
other half was Adam Scott running around and being sexy or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of it took place on Earth, So it's like, but this is fucking this is dog shit.
This is really.
This is absolute.
This is one of the worst things I've seen in a while.
I have not seen the bottom of the barrel before.
This feels like some shit.
Such a long time.
Like we used to do this, where we'd go and get go to like the DVD in college.
Oh, hell
we'd go to the DVD bin. You'd pick up something. You'd watch. You'd be like, "This is absolutely ass." It was also $1.
Yeah.
This is absolutely one of those things you'd find in that bin.
Oh my god!
And you would be upset because there was definitely better stuff in the bin.
No. I remember going to like Blockbusters, going like, "What looks like garbage? Let me get it." And this was absolutely that kind of thing, But oh my god, like, just especially from the last movie, which is not a great film,
but it's fun.
But it's fun, and it uses this character.
So far, every other movie has been at least fun. They've had rhymes, a couple things they're like, that's kind of gross. But for the most part, they're pretty harmless. I don't know, they're whatever.
And it's not like this is harmful. It just is stupid. It's just the stupidest fucking idea in the world.
I was trying to figure out why I was so bored, right? Like I was trying to figure out like why I could not pay attention to this, and I think it's just because like no one is in on the joke. It feels like everyone's playing it too seriously, but not in a way like an airplane type of way where they're actually like clever writing or anything like that.
The Leprechaun's hardly funny.
He doesn't make any rhymes almost.
No. You know what he's doing? He's doing weird like Shakespearean soliloquies to the camera most of my movies. Like, he like walks over to the camera and has like a whole monologue in front of it talking about like his motivations and shit. And it's like, is this not what I want from the I don't want this from the Leprechaun. This feels like Warwick Davis was like, he probably read the script. He's like, this is god awful. Give me fun shit to do. Like, give me the opportunity to act or whatever.
He's just collecting the health. He's just getting the health insurance. He wants to stay there.
Good for him.
Or whatever. I don't know. He's collecting whatever. He probably makes the most money out of anyone in these movies for sure.
And the thing about this movie was like, I could tell it was going to be bad from the very beginning because the opening shot of the movie is like awful CG meteors and then awful CG spaceship.
Are you sure it's not like flat PNGs flying through the air? Because that's kind of what it feels like most of the time.
It felt more like the Windows like movie maker style shit.
It's pretty bad.
It's really, really bad. And like, which is again crazy to me because like someone spent money on these like things, like back in the day, like CG wasn't cheap. I mean, this does look cheap, but like CG wasn't cheap back in the day. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like, what are we fucking doing here? And I was like, oh, okay, so all right, we're in space. I was like, oh, it's going to be like Jason X where, Jason is like, he shows up and, this is in the future and he winds up on the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they're going to the planet Ithacon.
Ithacon, yeah.
Which sounds like a leprechaun.
Oh, I didn't put that together.
Yeah. Which means the leprechaun is literally an alien species.
Oh shit!
There's a planet covered in fucking leprechauns apparently, and this is one of the characters that just has been going around the galaxy. We're following a group of space mercenaries who've been contracted by somebody, I think the German dude, to go and get the leprechaun. Basically.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so we meet Sergeant Hooker. Who has a metal head.
Yes.
I was honestly, okay, I hated this movie. That was a pretty great makeup effect.
That was a pretty good looking effect.
I like that effect.
Pretty simple. Yeah. I
like that guy. He was also in Full Metal Jacket.
There was a weird amount of star power. Like for a movie that looks like absolute dog shit.
Yeah, this is where a lot of people probably got.
Did you recognize Dolores at all? She was the Tool girl from Home Improvement.
No.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're right.
Yeah,
she did look familiar, but I didn't place her. But you're right. The whole time I was watching this, I'm like, she kind of looks like somebody I would recognize.
Yeah, exactly. So
and then the blonde girl was in Always Sunny a ton. She's been in a bunch of TV shows and stuff.
She's recently been in what was that movie called? There was a Acapulco, I think. Or wait, no, I don't know, some Apple TV Plus TV show. She's a main star in it.
And then the guy that looks like a thin Sylvester Stallone is like really like famous as well, I think.
Yeah, he's been in a couple of things. I'm trying to pull up a quick thing of what I guess his number one thing is Leprechaun 4 in Space.
That's not great. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Probably not that one. But the German dude has been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, is he?
He's been in he's still acting to this day, making all sorts of stuff. He was in The Crown for a bit.
Oh my god.
He was in a bunch of shorts. He's kind of just doing a lot of shorts.
He's doing it. I mean, he's doing
stuff.
He's doing all he can do in this movie.
Styx was DJ in Street Fighter 2. Which is, I mean, he was in a bunch of other stuff too. Like he still works.
Right.
Like these are not just people who are like in the last movie, like a lot of them just went one and done.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm out. But
no,
like,
these guys,
they were like, regulars. We're gonna keep going.
Which is why it feels like a sci-fi TV show movie type deal, because it's like those are the kind of actors that are just like, these are people who just show up for like a gig, you know. They don't have dreams of glory here. They're just literally showing up for these roles and like going like, I just want to like get a paycheck and fill up my resume and like continue to act for as long as possible, you know.
This is work, you know. I'm here to get my
this is a 9 to 5 for them,
part of a union. I'm here to get my paycheck.
Yeah, exactly.
Get all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's just kind of wild to see how many people were like kind of went on to like, you know, not do like amazing things, but they still were in stuff, and
that's better than fucking poor Tammy from the last movie, you know, who just completely quit acting, you know. Well, that's good to know that some of these actors went off to do other things. So yeah, we learn about the group of space mercenaries. Guy running the operation, Sergeant Hooker, is a metalhead. Young Dr. Reeves arrives. She's the blonde girl. I think her first name is something stupid, like Becky or something like that. Tina, thank you. And she is assigned to collect alien samples, which is why she's there, which makes all the mercenaries like sigh, like, oh, we have a fucking egghead here.
Collect samples.
We're trying to kill this fucking evil leprechaun alien guy. So they go to the Ithacon planet. The mission is to search and destroy the alien. And we also meet Dr. Mittenhand. That's his name.
Yes, that's the German guy, right?
Yes, he's German. And he's the one who assigned Reeves to work there. He also is the guy that I think is contracting the mercenaries.
Yeah, you got to explain something about him, though.
Oh, well, we don't know that yet.
Oh, you don't know that yet?
We only see him on TV, on the little TV monitor. We don't know anything else about him yet. I will get to that, though, because that is a big reveal. We meet Books.
Mike, look up.
What?
Look up. What's that?
What?
Oh, this fucking guy. He's coming down a SpaceX spaceship. Here he could have just teleported through. Oh, that's not theatrical enough. I wanted to have the theme going.
Oh my goodness, you're from space?
I was just in my little planet Ithaca, joining
I came all the way from Ithaca.
Oh, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. You think I'm from Ireland? No. You think I can make some cum whiskey, which is from Irish? No. This is from
Ithaca.
Ithaca. Yes,
yeah, Ithacon.
Yes, exactly. That one. Yes.
Ithaca is a city, I believe.
Ithaca's a city, yes.
Ithacon is a planet that you're from.
Well, you know, tomato.
Potato.
Accent, you know.
I'm hungry for potato.
Why are you making fun of me, Michael?
I'm sorry.
I tried to be theatrical. You did a
great job.
You were so theatrical in this audio podcast.
I know, yeah. No one is impressed except for us in the room.
Yeah, it's very cool, but
I'm glad that we can narrate this to the audience. So
you didn't take a picture. You could use it as a thumbnail on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know too much about podcasts. It's a long trail from Ithaca.
Oh, is it? How far away is Ithacon?
What are you correcting me?
Are you coming from Ithaca or Ithacon? Ithaca's not as impressive.
Ithacon is where all my friends get together and celebrate leprechauns.
Oh, I see. It's
Ithacon, that's different. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I went to Ithaca. Ithaca.
You got here. So why are you coming from this guy then?
Oh, why wouldn't I? My good buddy Elon, he has lots of money.
That tracks.
I of course wanted to take advantage of. I mean, borrow his.
Is Elon Musk a leprechaun? Because he's greedy and he's mischievous.
No, he's just a classic gremlin.
Oh, he's a gremlin.
He's a classic gremlin. Some even say sometimes at night when he gets real late and he turns down the lights really quiet. Some even say he becomes a troll.
I believe that.
A real troll.
I believe
he loves
he's a troll.
Especially when he's on his little phone. His little wee phone.
Yeah.
Just on there typing away. Yes. Anyway.
Well, good to know.
Anyway, I'm over here.
All right.
I've decided
Thanks for appearing, though.
Look, I'm not going to fuck your whiskey.
Thank you.
Not this time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't worry. I'll think of something else I'll do that'll
annoy the two of us.
Absolutely. It'll derail them because it sounds like you're in the rough parts now.
Oh, this is where it starts to get bad.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this movie, Leprechaun? Or you want to wait till the end of it?
Nope. See you later.
Okay, bye. All right. Well, we meet Dr. Mittenhand. He's German. We meet Books, who kind of looks like Rocky Balboa. And Books and Reeves are sweet in each other. His name is Books because he reads. He's the only mercenary who reads. God. Everyone has like fucking stupid. Like there's Mooch, who's just a guy that mooches off people. There's Sticks. I don't know why they call him Sticks.
Maybe he likes drumming. Maybe he drums a lot.
Might be a drummer. I don't know any of these people. I don't know why. And so yeah, what else happens? Mercenaries arrive on the planet. It looks like straight shit. The planet looks god awful. It's literally like shitty looking rocks and blue screen.
Oh, that's
behind
amazing.
Them. It looks so bad.
You think they faked the moon landing with that?
Oh, it really feels like that. Yeah, this is one small shit for man.
Oh man.
So now we see the Leprechaun for the first time in the movie, and he shows up and he's doing a fancy little British accent. He's smoking like a fancy cigarette in a little cigarette holder, and he has trapped some alien princess named Princess Zarina. Zarina. And they have a little fancy dinner together, and she laughs at him. She's like, I'm not like leave, like let me go. Like I don't like you. Like get rid of me. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Fucking Leprechaun's gonna like chain this woman up and like fucking, like threaten to fucking, rip her face off. But he's like, no, honey, I want to marry you. She's like, oh, marry me? I don't want to marry you. And he's like, well, your dad, the king, gave away all his money to the people on the planet, and now you don't have any money left. And she's like, that was an honorable thing to do. And he's like, yeah, well, I've got a bunch of money, and if you marry me, you can have half of it. Oh. And he like shows her his jewels and shit. Yeah. And she's like, ooh. And then she's like, well, what do you think now, Princess Zarina? And
I showed her me other jewels too. My family jewels.
That's right.
Those I will not be giving away.
You just have to put them in your mouth.
Oh, dude. Maybe.
Maybe. And Zarina's like, the king is dead. Long live the king. She is all for marrying this Leprechaun now.
She's evil, which is kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun.
Honestly, I was like, this is great. Because it's like she's evil, he's evil. They're going to be evil together.
That's cool.
This rocks. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm like, so far, I'm like, fucking, sets look like trash.
Yep.
Acting's not great. Nope. But the story's
so
ridiculous.
Far, I got some ideas.
But from here, I'm like, I'm rooting for these two.
Yeah.
I ship them.
I ship them too, yeah.
So then the mercenaries show up and they give away their position like immediately. One of them like sees something in the corner and shoots, and so the Leprechaun hears them.
Classic Marine.
Right. Marines don't fucking know what they're doing. And so one of them comes across all the riches and the jewels that the Leprechaun left out. And the Leprechaun shows up and pulls out a lightsaber and slices up the mercenary into pieces.
The funniest part about this movie is how the Leprechaun suddenly is like, I love guns and lightsabers.
Well, it's even funnier because when you think about it, Warwick Davis was in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He was one of the Ewoks.
Yeah,
that's where he got his like start. And so I wonder if he had like a chat with like George Lucas and was like, hey, man, I'm in this fucking Leprechaun movie. They're going to put a lightsaber in it. Is that cool?
I mean, as long as it doesn't make the lightsaber sound.
It kind of sounds like a lightsaber.
Well, if it kind of sounds like it, that's fair game. It's called a laser sword.
It's a laser sword.
That's not copyrighted, I think.
Yeah. And it doesn't, I mean, it's barely in this half of the movie, but it's so funny to me to see Warwick Davis sporting a fucking lightsaber to kill somebody.
Should have given Ewok a lightsaber. Come on.
Yeah. So I feel like if you gave an Ewok a lightsaber, it would immediately trip and cut its head off.
It'd be comedy.
Yeah, I would watch it.
I would love it.
I'd love to see that.
I'd love to see a little Ewok kill itself.
Put that in The Mandalorian, and I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'm back in.
I'm in.
Maybe that'll be in that Mandalorian Grogu movie.
Yeah, if that happens, I'm in.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen,
Dave Filoni, please come on, give us something.
Yeah, come on. So they have a shootout in a cave. The Leprechaun has a gun from the mercenary that he killed and is shooting at the mercenaries. The mercenaries is shooting back at the Leprechaun. Then one of the mercenaries throws a grenade at the Leprechaun, and Zarina runs out of one of the chambers, and the Leprechaun goes, oh, me wife! And the Leprechaun jumps on the grenade.
Wow.
And explodes and dies.
Yes. I also like that the Leprechaun just lives forever because he grows back, right?
Well, yeah, obviously. But I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously he's going to come back because the movie's called Leprechaun 4 in space or whatever. But at this, I let out an audible gasp because I was like, holy shit, they finally fucking killed the Leprechaun.
I mean, in the past movies, that's how he died in each one, right? Like, he did explode.
Yes, he gets fucking disintegrated.
Yeah.
And also, he gave his life for somebody.
Yeah.
Like, he sacrificed himself for the princess. So I was like, what is it? Where is this movie going? And the princess is like caught in the blast. So like her like hand gets like shot off, I think, or whatever. And she's like mortally wounded and knocked out. So the mercenaries come. Dr. Reeves comes and like bandages her up and takes her back to the ship. She's knocked out, so she's sort of like in stasis essentially. But they all see the leprechaun is like in fucking pieces. And so one of the mercenaries, I don't know his name, but one of them goes over and pisses on the leprechaun body. And everyone's like, come on, dude, don't fucking do that. And then Static shoots up that guy's dick from the leprechaun body. And then they pan over the leprechaun's head and he's like smiling. And so it's like, oh, the leprechaun's not really dead, which is very surprising. But
you have some disrespect. I'll hit you right in the dick. Oh, that was a good one.
That was a pretty good one.
Not bad.
Oh, yeah. See, you don't ever rhyme like that in this movie.
Well, I just had to make it up to you.
Well, thank you for doing that. I did miss you rhyming.
Well, I don't know why they told me not to. I can't remember the reason. Perhaps it was the fact that the scriptwriter was a complete dipshit. Well, anyway, see you later.
All right. So for like a good 3 to 4 minutes, I was like, where are we going with this? Like, how are we? Like, is there going to be another leprechaun that shows up? Like, I didn't know where we were going. So, Reeves is now taking control of the situation. Now that the leprechaun is dead, the doctor is taking over, like caring for the princess, Zarina. Also is telling this guy Harold, who's like another doctor on board.
Okay.
You see him, he's kind of like balding.
Oh, yeah.
Tells him how to take care of Zarina and tells him what to do. Harold's bi because he seems to be hitting on both men and women. I don't know if that's important.
No.
Whatever, who cares? And then the Mercs go to dance at the entertainment lounge, which is literally like
the entertainment lounge. I love. It's the worst.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
It looks like a fucking like disco like set.
It looks like disco sci-fi. Like I look at the chairs, I'm like, wow, these are just office chairs.
It looks so bad. Like
I kind of liked how bad
I want to describe it. It's like
do you know? Imagine going to like a roller rink,
and
then looking at a room, and then they call it the sci-fi room.
But like a roller rink from the 70s or 80s,
an old roller rink
that has not been updated.
I'd say the 90s,
maybe
and it has not been updated.
And
they just are like, here it is, because they got like weird cups,
exactly.
Stuff. It's just like they kind of went to like I don't know, Home Goods or whatever, and were like, pick out things that look kind of sci-fi. I'm like, okay,
things that you can kind of see through.
Yeah,
it looks awful.
So
and
bad.
It doesn't look like, I mean, obviously it's the entertainment lounge, so it shouldn't, but it looks like none of the rest of the sets, which is why it feels like it's like a found set, right? Like they probably found this on like Saved by the Bell, like or something. And like, fucking let's bring it in, we'll shoot there. So they're all at the entertainment lounge. The Lady Merc, who is what's her name? She's the one that was in the Tool Time.
The Tool Time. That's a Tool Time lady. I can't remember her name. Dolores.
And one of the other guys, the guy that pissed on the leprechaun, they're getting hot and heavy.
Nice.
And they go to fuck.
Oh, cool.
They're like, hey, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go fuck. So they go fucking, and they're like in the hallway, and she's like rubbing his dick. And then he's like, ow, ow. She's like, what? I'm not doing anything. And he's like, ow, it really hurts. And he looks down, and his dick starts like crawling in his pants.
What?
And she's like, and it starts like throbbing and like crawling around and moving in his like crotch area. And it cuts back to Dolores, and Dolores is like, what did I do?
Oh, poor girl.
And then we hear the William Tell overture. The
no, what the fuck is this?
And out of the guy's pants pops the leprechaun.
The whole leprechaun?
The leprechaun pops out of the guy's pants where his dick should be.
Wait, is he like super little?
No, he's the same size.
I thought it was gonna be like a severed hand was like running around in there or something.
It's the full leprechaun pops out of his crotch, out of his dick, and he goes, "That's why you need to wear condoms."
All right, good lesson from this movie, I guess.
Great. And the Lady Merc pulls the gun on the leprechaun, and the leprechaun imitates John Wayne and pulls a gun as well and shoots the gun out of her hand.
I don't like doing
him
impressions.
doing this. I agree.
I don't think it's fun.
I don't think it's fun.
I mean, I let it go once with Elvis. Fine.
Warwick Davis isn't good at it.
No.
I'm sorry Warwick, I know you're listening to us. I know you're a fan of our podcast.
Yeah.
You're not good at these.
He doesn't listen to this shit.
Doesn't he?
No.
He's got better things to do,
Absolutely.
probably.
Come on.
But if you are, you need to put a stop to this.
Stop doing
you're not great at it.
It's okay.
So yeah.
Also, it's just like, that's not what I come to Leprechaun for. You know, I want him to just be a leprechaun. They're like,
I want him to be goofy.
It makes it seem like you ran out of the well of funny things leprechauns can do.
Yeah.
Come on.
Remember when the gold used to be in a well? like all the way back in the first movie. Oh, what a time. Remember how good that felt when it was like all basically in like 1 to 2 settings, and it was like
cool. I mean, this is all almost one setting.
Sure. One spaceship. Yeah. Really nice.
Really connecting. You can really feel how the spaceship's laid out, and aren't confused every time they go to a different spot.
Never am I like, this is the same hallway, just with like some of the props moved around, So Books and Reeves are chatting with each other. That's how I'm going to refer to them as. Is that okay? Do you call her Tina?
I do call her Tina, but that's okay.
Books and Tina are sitting down in the entertainment lounge, and they're drinking and they're chatting about like biology and intelligence. And she sort of insults his intelligence, even though his name is Book. So clearly he reads.
He's smart for a Marine.
That's true. He's smart for a Marine. That's what she says. And then she like leaves. She's like, "Oh, you're like dumb or whatever," and she leaves him. And then Styx shows up, and Styx and Books are like the best of friends.
Yeah,
they're great. I like them together.
Cool. Yeah,
I like Styx. I like Books. I like them together. They're buddies.
Yeah.
And Styx comes up. It is funny because like all the other Marines are like drunk on the dance floor and they're like poorly dancing. All the other Marines are like white guys.
Yeah.
And they're all dancing. And then Styx is like, they really still can't dance in the future, which is great.
That's actually pretty funny.
It's a great joke. And he goes over and he like consoles Books.
You're like making this movie sound good, which is
moments
weird.
that are good.
It's
There's
just
moments.
weird because I watched the same movie.
You didn't watch the same half of the movie.
That's true.
You didn't watch the same half.
You know what? I think, I guess maybe the writing is kind of more fun, but then when they get into the action, it's just confusing, I guess.
I don't want people to come away from this podcast thinking I like this movie.
Okay. You're making it sound good though.
There's moments that are good, but not the entire film. So what happens next? So Lady Merc has survived the attack by the Leprechaun. And she busts back into the entertainment lounge and she's like, it's here and it killed that other guy. It killed that dude. I don't remember his name. But she's really heartbroken about the fact that guy died. And she's also worried that she caused it.
That's fair.
Which is fair. I feel bad for her, honestly.
An STL, sexually transmitted
leprechaun. That's right.
I've heard that before. I'm sure you have.
I'm sure you have. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He's passing along 4-leaf clover.
This version's not immune to the 4-leaf clover. It's a bad luck charm this time.
Yeah, exactly. What happens next? Harold, the one other there's 3 scientists.
There's 3 scientists.
There's the German guy, there's Reeves, and then there's Harold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tina or Reeves. Yeah.
Tina or Reeves.
Yeah.
So Harold is there with Zarina. Zarina's knocked out, and he starts like smelling her stomach and like kissing it and shit. He's acting like a real creep.
Yeah.
These movie series have a lot to go off of with like women who are in.
Always women like asleep
laying down
or whatever.
On tables.
They're like, someone's gonna be a creep, and I'm like, can we do anything else?
Anything else but this? But honestly, it's like Harold is the bad guy, and he immediately.
Well, I mean, the Leprechaun's a bad guy too.
That's true. But we don't have to deal with Harold very much.
That's true.
Harold's barely in this movie.
Yeah.
And the doctor shows up, and the doctor's like, Harold, stop fucking doing that, you creep.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, I'm sorry. And then they look at Zarina's hand, and her hand's growing back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
And the doctor's like, yes, I knew this would happen. I need to test her DNA. We need to take Zarina and put her in a place where no one else will know where she is so I can continue to test her. Okay? But the leprechaun wants his wife back. He wants the princess because he's going to marry her. So, you know, in every other movie, he wants gold.
Yeah.
Gold's not the option anymore.
To be fair, she's got a lot of gold paint on her body.
She does have gold paint on her body. That's true. But that's not why he wants her. He just wants her.
Yeah. I think that's what the biggest downfall of this movie is. Leprechaun just ain't a leprechaun in this.
He's not really a leprechaun
just a weird
anymore.
little guy. He's just a weird alien
guy.
dude.
Not a fan.
That doesn't make sense. That's why it's like, it does feel like a different script, and they were just like, I don't know, I'll put a fucking leprechaun in it because who cares?
Exactly. That's exactly what this feels like.
Yeah.
So, what happens next? Mercs go looking for the leprechaun. Mooch and Books go to check out a waste chamber. Like it's for like waste,
the poop
chute.
Yeah.
It's not for food. It's not for poop. It's for
Freudian slip there, Mike.
It's not for food, which I eat poop. You know, I'm saying that because like this is where you would put like all of your food waste and your trash and stuff like that. And it apparently
pre-processed poop. Got it.
Yes, exactly. And it has like some kind of bacteria that the minute you put anything in there, it starts to like eat away at it.
Oh, nice. That's very handy.
It's very handy, but that means that if humans go in there, they have to wear like
protective
like clothing.
Yeah.
So Mooch and Books go in there to see if the leprechaun is in there. The leprechaun is indeed in there, but the leprechaun is also wearing a little suit to protect himself.
Awesome.
And then they're like, I don't think I see the leprechaun in here. And then all of a sudden, the leprechaun shows up and starts cutting up Mooch's suit. And a Books grabs Mooch and like tries to carry him out, but it's too late.
Man,
he's turned into a skeleton.
You know what sucks is that you're describing this movie. It sounds like so much fun, but I know
it's not.
It's ass.
It's really
it looks
not.
so bad.
Like,
None of this is fun. The ideas are kind of there. There's ideas there, kind of.
This is probably why, like, they probably read the script, like, yeah, you know what, this is pretty fun. Like, let's make this movie, right? Like, how bad could it be? And then it was bad.
It was
real
real bad.
Yeah, I think I'm doing too good of a job of
You
like
really
explaining
are.
this movie.
You're just explaining the plot, and in your mind, like my mind is picturing
in your
kind
brain,
of a fun movie.
You're imagining a really fun. A guy turns into a fucking meaty skeleton. Like that's awesome.
That's great. We love a little leprechaun coming out of someone's pants.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Funny.
But no, not in this movie.
We should just remake this movie.
We should remake this movie and call it Leprechaun 4 in space.
I'm in. I would be right in. I would love to get another Leprechaun
You're
movie.
not writing this movie. I feel like if you do, it's gonna be. You're gonna have like.
Are you
Elon
saying
Musk
I'm
in it.
cancelled?
I'd say.
Are
Yeah.
you saying? Oh, just what you liberals always be saying that.
I know.
Liberals. liberals, cry, cry, cry. All you do, all facts
We're
don't
all a
hurt
bunch
your
of
feelings.
snowflakes.
Yeah, a bunch of snowflakes. You know what? Never snows in Ireland. Never snows in Ireland. I'm out of here.
All right, goodbye, Leprechaun. Goodbye.
He didn't really leave that far.
He just goes a couple of feet away. He stops talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So the mercs are like, fuck this. It's not worth like fighting this leprechaun again. They know what the leprechaun wants. They know the leprechaun wants the princess. So like, fuck it. Let's just get the princess and give it to the leprechaun.
Gold is never a thing in this.
No, gold is never a thing. The leprechaun already has his gold back at his house on the planet Ithacon. Okay. So it's not about gold. It's about the princess. Okay. Right? Keep that in mind. So they're like, fuck it. Let's just give him the princess. So they go looking for the princess. The princess is gone. It's not in the lab anymore. Because remember, the German doctor took the princess.
Yeah. Have you seen the German doctor yet?
Not yet. We're about to see the German doctor.
Okay.
We only see him on TV, like I said. So the mercs are like, we are gonna leave. We're gonna leave if you don't give us the princess. We can give it to the leprechaun. Like, this is not worth it. Their contract's almost up anyway. So they're like, fuck this. Like, this isn't worth it. Men have died. We're out. We don't need to do this anymore. And then the German doctor reveals himself. Now, the German doctor is a head and one arm and like pecs.
Yep.
And that's it. And the rest of his body is a robot.
A robot, like not a walking robot.
No.
It's just like a wheelchair robot.
He kind of looks like a Dalek from like.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way.
Because it's obviously the rest of the body.
He's like hiding
of
under
the
there.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a very uncomfortable outfit.
It looks
that
pretty
he has
dang
to, like,
uncomfortable.
really uncomfortable makeup. And the actor can't move too much because he's, again, the character only has one arm.
Yeah.
So the actor has to like hide his other arm behind his back. And so they created like a false shoulder to make it look like he doesn't have an arm.
Yeah.
And so if the actor like moves his shoulders
He
too
can't.
much, like you will notice that there's something behind him that he's trying to like hide from people. So he reveals himself and he's just an upper half. And he says, if you guys leave, if you mercenaries leave, you will be tried for mutiny.
Okay.
But if you stay and you kill the leprechaun, you will get a very generous bonus. And
okay. They do like money.
they're like, we'll give you, I think he says like a 100% more than what you're already getting, basically, which is a pretty great bonus.
Sure, yeah.
But then Sergeant Hooker's like 100% more, and anything that you produce here, because clearly it's like you're running tests on Zarina. Anything you produce here, we get some of the money from that too. We get like 30% of like whatever you, and like this scene, it feels like it lasts for 5 minutes. It's only probably maybe
They're just
like
negotiating.
1 or 2. They're just negotiating the kind of money that they make from it.
Like, who cares?
I don't.
Yeah.
But eventually they find a proper terms.
Sure.
Hooker's happy. Everyone's happy with that. They're like, sure, we make a lot of money. And then they're like, okay. And I wrote down, the leprechaun is not rhyming anymore. He just speaks in soliloquy directly to camera like Shakespeare. And he keeps like walking into the camera. He's like, oh yes, they've got me gold, but what about this and what about that? And I don't like this and I don't like that. And then he goes up to the camera and he says, hi, I need to have a wife, but if I wed her, she gets half my riches. And that means that's half less than I had before. So maybe I shouldn't marry her. Maybe I should kill her.
I can't believe we had this inner dialogue that I never wanted.
he says, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet her, bed her, and bury her all in one day.
Wow.
So why does he care anymore? Like, is he just trying to get his rocks off? Like, what does he care about the princess anymore?
I mean, I guess he could just leave.
He could just leave.
And he wouldn't have to worry about his money anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
he doesn't even want to. Which to me was the heartbreaking moment of this, because I thought he found love.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I thought he found someone who
he's
could
just
be
greedy.
his equal.
He's just yeah, it kind of does suck.
It's a real shitty moment. So Harold puts a sample of Zelina's blood onto like the doctor's finger skin, and it regenerates his finger. And that's when I realized why he's taken Zarina. It's because he wants to regenerate the rest of his body. That's why.
That makes sense.
That's why he took Zarina. We see Lady Merc asks Sarge. She's like,
"What's that stuff that he uses? What color is it?
Blue?
Oh, okay, like a milky blue.
Like a milky blue.
Okay,
that's her blood.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So Lady Merc,
you can get
Dolores,
that shit at Disneyland.
You can get that shit at Disneyland.
It's just like the Disneyland.
It does look like
milk.
the blue milk. Speaking of Star Wars, right? Yeah, that's bantha milk right there.
Bantha milk right there, baby. Straight from the source.
Straight from the source. I mean, she's not bantha, I don't think. I guess I've never really seen have I seen a bantha? Did they appear in the movies?
Yeah, they do.
Probably, right?
Yeah, you see their boobs.
Yeah, you see their boobies.
That's where Luke takes them.
No, that's not a bantha. Because that's green milk. You're thinking about the one from Last Jedi.
You're right.
That's not a bantha.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, the banthas are the fluffy guys, the big fluffy cow guys.
There you go. Yeah, that's right.
The,
that's not what she
sand
looks
people
like.
Yeah, no, she's not.
Yeah. So
she does not have that much hair.
She does not. So Lady Merc is talking to Sarge, and she's like, Sarge, did I kill that guy? And Sergeant's like, no, you didn't. But honestly, he probably went the way all men want to go. That's the way I would want to go, is with a boner. Because she's like, I gave him a boner and that might have killed him. And he's like, honestly, this part made me laugh so fucking hard. And Sarge's like, no, that's fine. And he's like, that's the way I would want to go if I died. And then she like sort of like looks him up and down, like she wants to like get it on with the sergeant. The sergeant's like, I don't want to do that with you. Because maybe I'll
Actually,
die.
I don't want to die.
And like, these are the weird little moments in the movie where I'm like, you know what? This is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Not great. Kind of funny.
You have to hedge your bets a little bit.
A little bit.
Michael, just say you love it. Just say you want to enjoy it.
I hated this movie, Mr. Leprechaun.
You want to be in space with me? You want to come and fly in my Elon
I don't believe you have
rocket?
been to space. I think you've been to
Oh, you think I did a low orbit?
I think you've been to Ithaca.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I think if you got on a spaceship, it would explode.
It didn't. Not one bit.
Not at all.
You disrespectful little ignorant. All right, look.
Okay, chill out.
This is a little much.
Out.
You got to calm down.
You gotta chill out.
Wow. Too much.
You could actually control him a little bit.
Well, I mean, I just pushed him.
Yeah. But he stood back. He realized you're too strong.
Yeah, man.
We're learning a bit about this leprechaun.
He's all talk, no bite.
That's right. I don't want him to bite me because then I turn into a leprechaun. So then they somehow have a leprechaun tracker. I don't know how, but they have a tracker for the leprechaun.
Well, they have a whole column. Like, what is it? It's a planet. They probably know.
It's like the alien thing, right? Where they can track where the alien is. Alien, you know?
I guess it's just a heat tracker or something, right?
No, it's trying to find a leprechaun.
Okay.
And so they find the leprechaun. Reeves and Books find him. Sorry, Tina and Books find him. But he's too powerful, and so he saves her life, protects her from the leprechaun.
Okay.
And that is the end of my movie.
He saves her from the leprechaun?
He saves her from the leprechaun, and now she, like, loves him.
Oh, yeah.
She's, like, infatuated with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So she's like, you're really good with that rifle. I'm not the... And he's like, you want one? He's like, I'm not the killer type. Yeah. She says... and he says, right time, right place. We're all killers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I notice this dude has, like, a glass dome head. He looks cool. These dudes are in this tiny hallway.
Ethan he loves this movie, as you can hear. This guy's got a cool head. They're in space.
Let me tell you, Mike, usually I go through and I rewrite my notes. I'm just going to read these, baby.
Do it, baby.
Because you know what? It's going to give it a better experience of what this movie is like.
This movie is like, yeah.
These dudes are in this tiny hallway. Leprechaun messing with them. Danny boy, let's talk about safety in the workplace. He keeps cutting his... Oh, this is what...
What are you talking about?
I'm reading my notes, baby.
Danny boy?
This is what the leprechaun says.
Oh, okay.
So he's on the video screen, and they locked Danny into... or whatever this guy's fucking name is. I don't know.
I think his name is Danny, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
They locked him into this room, and he's watching this leprechaun talk about on the screen workplace safety. As he like cuts his fingers off. He's cutting his fingers off, and then he lights them on fire. Whoa. And he says, as Shakespeare says, shit happens. Which is... I guess doesn't make any sense to me, but now I kind of get why they did that.
He's been doing weird Shakespeare things this entire time.
So then he's like, well, maybe we could be like partners, dude. And he's like, maybe we could like partner up or something. He's like, yeah, I know. I can tell you where the lady is. And
sort of like Benny from the Mummy.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, instead of doing that, he actually just drops a box on his head and kills him after tricking him.
A box on his
Well, also because he was lying. He also was going to shoot the leprechaun.
Of course. Dropped a
but
fucking piano on his head.
It's a huge random box out of nowhere, and it was just... This set's like the buttons are so funny. They look like Star Trek Next Generation buttons.
Probably are.
Like just flat. Yeah, they probably just got them from that set.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got the German guy, and we got the other guy. What was his name? Herman?
Harold.
Harold's there, and he's like, I'm so excited to work with a great genius. And the German guy's like, I can't wait of being ready to rejoin the human race. And I'm like, well, you're still a human. I don't understand what your issue is. But he says, like, they did an experiment on me where I would be the first computer with an organic structure.
Oh, that's why.
That would be my greatest achievement. And they're like, what happened? He's like, obviously it worked. And I'll turn back into a human with her DNA. And
I don't think anyone would want to look like that, though.
No, I know. And then Harold's like, oh, cool. He literally says, oh, cool. Like, wow, because he's just dumb.
Right.
So then Dolores gets separated in an area with the leprechaun.
No, we know she's going to die.
And the leprechaun's like walking with a cane for some reason.
Yeah, he's got a cane in my half of the movie.
He's walking around for some reason. He's like, this is an older leprechaun. He's settling down.
Yeah.
He wants to settle down. That's why he's trying to get that lady. He wanted to settle down. He's like,
he's like,
I'm getting up in my age.
He's doing too much. Yeah, he can't be a lone wolf anymore.
No, he's got to settle down.
Yeah.
So she says, take this, you son of a bitch, and shoots him, and the leprechaun fucking explodes. And I'm like, oh my God, he's dead.
We both got a fucking fake out death leprechaun thing.
And it's just two stumpy legs, and she walks up to him, and then it grows back.
Oh,
and
no.
And he throws her off the edge. They're trying to get in, and he does like, his little piggy went to the market. And then he throws her off the edge. And we don't see her die, so I'm like, oh shit, maybe she's still alive.
She is not.
No, they eventually break in and they go downstairs and they find her body.
Oh.
And she's like, oh my God, she's dead. But then she wakes up, looks at Tina and says, kill him. And then she dies.
Well, I'm glad she told her that.
I know. It wasn't obvious enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Man. The nerdy doctor, then Harold gets a video message from Tina. And Tina is like, oh my God, let me in. I lost all my clothes. Let me in. All my clothes are gone.
Not this fucking shit again.
Yep, they're doing it again.
Oh my God. Every
sexy
fucking
lady.
movie. Yeah.
She's like, gotta let me in the biolab. And he's like, well, of course. And he does. And she, in case the audience couldn't tell, she looks into the camera right before he's about ready to open the door and says, she says in a leprechaun voice, thank you. You saved my life.
Leprechaun, do you enjoy like looking like women? Is that a thing that you enjoy?
I don't know. Maybe there's a part in a scene in this movie where you'll be like, well, sexuality is a strange thing.
Oh, is there a part in this movie that addresses that?
Maybe.
I'd hope so. Probably.
Do we do it well? It was the 90s. What is a different time?
I'm sure. 90s
I think
horror comedy.
How old was I? I can't remember. Was this 2000s? Oh, yes, it was in the 2000s. 9/11 hadn't happened yet. Things are a lot different.
So it's just 2000.
It was just, yes, the 2000s.
Yeah, the new millennia.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
I have nothing else to say about this. I will let Ethan do the rest of the talking.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that, I guess.
Can't wait.
Let's see. So the leprechaun finds the cyborg man as he goes, because obviously he's in there, and he just like starts laughing. He's like, "Oh, you're a monster just like me." He's like, "Oh, you find me laughable? Well, listen here. We have a lot in common. We're both monsters. You want the throne, and I want respect. Or we both want respect. We both want to be king, or some shit."
Okay.
And he's like, you don't. And the German guy's like, you want respect? What you need fear, man. You need people to be afraid of you.
People are already afraid of him.
Yeah, people just laugh at him. And then he's doing this. He's trying to like tempt him because Harold's like waking up. He's not dead. He just kind of got knocked out.
Right.
And he goes, stabs the leprechaun in the back.
Damn.
Obviously doesn't kill him.
Of course not.
So the leprechaun psychics gets like a I don't know, a tray or something, and psychics him right at Harold, and Harold's against the wall. What do you think's gonna happen?
Wait.
It's like a thin pan, like a thin tray.
Oh, it's got to slice into him, right? It's got to cut him in half, right? Yeah.
No. It slams on him flat. And his face, it falls down, and his whole face is like a cartoonish, flat, goofy thing.
What
and then he
the
falls
hell?
over. It wasn't the Looney Tunes.
Oh my
So much Looney Tune
God.
references in this.
Oh my God.
It's very weird. It smashes them completely. And the Leprechaun's like, and it's a good, funny time.
Very funny. Sounds like you're enjoying this movie so far.
Yeah, I know. These moments are...
It's few and far between, but there's some pretty good moments.
There's moments.
Yeah.
There's stuff here.
Yeah.
So then the Leprechaun goes with the lady, and I'm like, oh my God, what's he gonna do to this lady? I had no idea who this lady was. I just thought she was a hostage. She wakes up, and she's like totally into him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
She loves him. Yeah.
What is going on? She's like, I had a dream you were draining my blood. And says the doctor, so you should kill him. And so the Leprechaun and the lady get together. They round up the doctor. Obviously, he can't move very fast.
Right, because he's wheels.
He's got wheels.
Yeah.
And so they start mixing things together in that blue juice. I know what this blue juice was.
Oh.
So the Leprechaun's like, hee, I'm going to put a tarantula in here. And he puts a tarantula into a blender and blends it up with the blue juice.
Oh, God.
He gets like a scorpion, puts in there as well. And then he's like, hee, I'm going to now eject you with that. And he ejects
this sounds insane.
The scientist. Yeah, it was very weird.
This is crazy. You don't know.
Into his head. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
Even if I know what the blue stuff does, I still don't know how this is going to affect him.
He's just going to fuck it up and kill him.
Yeah.
So he ejects his head, and I'm like, he starts freaking out. He starts having a seizure, basically.
Right.
But then the Marines arrive, and the Leprechaun just pulls out a gun. I'm like, what the fuck? And they start shooting each other. They have like a little shootout. Tina gets hit with acid. They patch her up. They can't hurt the hostage because they still think she's cool. And then the Leprechaun like gives the guy with the dome head a bunch of explosives. Like he just snaps and a bunch of explosives appear on him. And I'm like, that's a cool power that just makes no sense. Sure. He's like, this may be cruel, but your behavior leaves me no choice. This is your fate.
Right.
Excuse me. This is what. What's her name? Zarina?
Tina? Oh, Zarina.
Zarina says this.
Yeah.
She says, your behavior, we're all in a hostage situation. Everything's tense. She says, this may be cruel, but your behavior leaves me no choice. This is your fate. And she opens up her bra and shows her boobs.
What? Why?
She shows her boobs and stuns all the males on the ship.
Oh my
and then
God.
says, you are forever doomed. I am Zarina, queen of the damned. And she buttons her blouse up and demands, the Leprechaun tells the Sarge guy to say, Ten Hut, get out of here, and marches him out. And the guy's like, well, maybe we're okay because she likes us. But Tina's like, nah, man. When a woman of royal blood of her race shows you her breasts, it's a death sentence. And I'm like, what the fuck?
This is...
What in the porn is this? What is going on?
This is some plot.
Yeah. At any moment, because of the cheap ass sets, I'm like,
yeah,
there's some real fucking going on here or something.
Rough, yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. They come back. They go past where the cyborg guy was, and he's not there anymore. Just the bottom half is there.
Oh,
which is weird. So I assume he's
dead. Is he dead? Right? No, he's not dead. He's probably turned into a giant spider tarantula, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's see. Serena's like, I want to kill everyone here. They arrive.
She's great.
Yeah,
I love her.
She's having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
They arrive at the entertainment lounge. And the Marines show up there, and then Sarge appears. Sarge is now dressed as a drag queen doing a drag performance, and Zarina and the Leprechaun are watching, like, this is going to be a great show. And they're confused. And he starts like fighting them. And he seems to be like pretending to be a woman sometimes. And sometimes he's like, Ten Hut, I'm going to fight you. It's very confusing.
Why?
In a lot of ways. I don't fucking know. I don't really know. I don't know what the thing is here. He pulls out nunchucks, starts beating them up. And they're like, he's Sarge. We're like, we got to kill him. He's brainwashed. I don't know what's going on. What's happened to him? And so
this is fucking weird, dude.
It's very weird. I was like, I don't know what they're doing here. It seems like it's a joke.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't seem to be like super mean about it. So I don't really know what we're doing.
But it also just doesn't seem funny either.
No, it's just kind of like random.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she says, let's go get the gold, Mr. Leprechaun. Let's go.
This is weird. Why did we do this?
Well, she says like, let's get your gold, and you said there's no gold involved.
Nope.
She says it's somewhere in the cargo bay.
I didn't know that.
Okay, well, they go and they go run off in the cargo bay and let the...
I mean, I guess it makes sense they would take it, but like, he didn't seem interested in taking it from them. He could have done that at any point.
Well, anyway, the dome guy is fighting everyone, so they just let him do that.
All right.
So then we're looking at the computer, I call him the computer man, the German scientist guy.
Right.
And he's starting to look at this horrifying, ugly creature. Like
How'd it look?
Weird
How'd it look?
Spider thing. I have a photo.
Oh, you have a photo.
Right here.
We're going to see a photo, ladies and gentlemen.
Right here for you.
That looks pretty cool.
It's honestly not bad.
That looks. It kind of looks like Cronenberg's The Fly a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little more rubbery.
It doesn't look as good, but it looks pretty effective for a movie like this.
He has a great line where he's just like, "I'm no longer Mitten Head. I am now Mitten Spider. I want to eat flies."
Okay.
Which I'm like, I feel like you're pretty big. I think you're gonna eat a lot
I don't
of
think.
flies.
I think you're gonna starve if you're gonna just eat flies. Yeah.
Tina beats up Sarge. Sarge is having issues, and they still beat him up more. I don't know. He falls over.
Enough of that.
They can't take it. They can't fight him off.
Right.
Let's see. Leprechaun says, "Just hell with these guys. I'm gonna go get me gold." The Sarge then sticks his bayonet into, or Tina tricks him. He rams her with like a bayonet with his gun into an electric socket. He electrocutes himself and dies. But then it turns out he wasn't a person. He was a cyborg.
What? Harold was a cyborg?
I know, the guy with the big dome head. He was a cyborg the whole time.
Wait.
I'm like, what does that matter? What's going on? Why is that such a shocking reveal?
Wait. Sarge was a cyborg.
Yeah.
Then how did he get brainwashed?
His computers must have been, like, that's why he got brainwashed by Leprechaun, because his computer.
Because he could be like reprogrammed?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just like, what are we doing? Why does this matter? Why?
And then he also said that he wanted to die via like having a hard on. Is that something that a cyborg can have?
I guess not. Maybe he was just lying to pretend to
to be a cyborg.
That's why he didn't want her to do anything.
Oh, because he couldn't. I see. Okay.
That's it. Anyway,
whatever.
The Leprechaun activated the self-destruct sequence on the ship because you got to have one to this. Leprechaun wants to kill, let's see, the scientist man, and Zarina also does because he's her father.
The scientist man is her father?
That's what I took from this.
She has a king. Like she has a dad who's.
Maybe they're talking about the actual king then. Maybe that's
okay, that makes sense.
They just said a man. I still don't know the guy's first name, so I just assumed it was him for some reason.
Okay.
Because obviously Leprechaun still wants to kill that guy, right? I don't know. Anyway, he puts a force field over the ship so no one can leave the little escape ship in the main ship.
Okay.
Whatever. Leprechaun is looking for gold. Zarina just says, "Fuck your gold. Let's just leave." He's like, "No, I need my gold. I hate." And then they start like fighting.
Oh, their first fight.
Oh,
so romantic.
She's like, "I can marry anyone I want." And he's like, "With a face like that? No way." And then he says, "You got a little blemish right here." And he touches her skin. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And then a little bit later, she's like, "Look at your face now." And it's got like huge zits all over it.
Oh, no.
And
it's because of the leprechaun.
And she passes out and all the zits go away. So he just wants to teach her a lesson, I guess.
Okay.
Styx is here. He's going to go find the self-destruct code book where the doctor is. And he goes into the room. He ignores all these giant spider webs that are all over the room now. And then
why would there be spider webs in space? Why ask that
big
question? Big
spider webs. And then...
So wait, real question. Body count here. So Styx is still alive.
Styx is still alive.
Books is still alive.
Books still alive.
Tina's still alive. And that's it?
Scientist guy's alive. Harold's dead. That's it.
Sarge is dead.
Scientist guy's technically a spider. But yeah, so we got 3 people left.
Got 3 people. Got it.
So Styx is looking for the code book. And then the spider attacks him. The Spider-Man attacks him. And you're like, oh my God. But you don't see what happens to him. And then the leprechaun finds his gold. He's like, what have they done to me gold? They shrunk it down.
They have a machine that can shrink things down.
What does it come in play? How does it come into play at all?
What do you mean?
Like, how did you know that? What did they use it for?
Earlier on, they were showing that they can collect a lot of cargo by like making things small and then making things big later on.
Oh, okay. So they can make things big.
They can make things small and big. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let's see. He does the whole zit thing to her. Okay. So Styx is still alive. He's just hanging by webs now and trying to find things, trying to find the self-destruct code.
Trying to get out. Yeah.
So he calls up the Books and Tina and is like, hey, so I need a code or something here. It's like, oh, okay. But he's still looking for the buttons and trying to figure it out. So they find the leprechaun. He's still looking at his gold. And she's like, oh, we got to neutralize him. And he says, I'll neutralize something for you. And he pulls out a gun, starts shooting. They hide. And then Tina finds the weird ray gun thing that used to shrink stuff. And he puts on the leprechaun. And he starts growing huge. Massive.
Really?
He starts running around smashing things. It looks terrible. It
How?
looks like they got regular footage of Warwick Davis standing somewhere, and then they just expanded it and didn't use any like super high definition cameras or anything.
Oh no,
it's pretty bad. It's pretty blurry. But I mean, it's on video, so what do you expect?
Nobody would know.
Nobody was supposed to know.
Oh, I would love to see this scene.
It's pretty.
This sounds awful.
And you can definitely tell it. Like there are times when they shoot in a set and they're like, "Oh, it looks good," and then as soon as I see that the Leprechaun looks blurry, I'm like, "Oh, there's going to be someone else here in a second to show the scale."
It's funny that they didn't just get like a guy who is big and put him in the Leprechaun suit.
I mean, this guy is. I mean, like he's like kaiju size. Now.
Oh,
he's huge.
Okay.
So you can't just do that.
I'm just imagining him as like 7 or 8 feet tall.
No. He's probably like 50 or 60 feet.
Wow, it's amazing they can fit in a spaceship.
I know. Well, it's a cargo hold.
Sure.
Let's see. So he's growing huge. They use a bunch of footage. Still gets it's very blurry.
They use a bunch of footage.
Tina runs to help Styx, goes through the vents, but it's a very scary, horrible set of the vents.
Right.
The spider keeps popping out, being like, "I'm gonna get you."
Right.
And then the Leprechaun sees how big he is, and he looks down at his dick and he says, "All right, big is good."
What the fuck?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. It's very rude.
No.
So he goes to squish the books and keeps running around, but Styx is still running a password. Tina gets there, arrives, trying to help Styx, but then the Spider-Man appears. He's like, "I'm going to kill you."
Spider-Man,
the spider scientist now, the creepy spider scientist. He's got he's got a cool like scorpion tail now and everything.
Damn,
it's honestly pretty good. And she hits him with liquid nitrogen.
Freezes him immediately.
Freezes him basically.
Yeah.
And he says, "Help me," and he's like, "I'm sorry," and then he explodes.
Wow. Well, that's the end of that
that's
character.
The end of that guy. Yep. And Books is like now hiding. He's like, "Okay, I got out of here." He leaves the cargo bay and says, "Hey, open up the cargo bay." And he says, "What? Open up the cargo bay." And so he opens up the cargo bay.
And then the cargo bay is now open.
Yeah, and he finds Zarina. He picks her up because she's still a hostage. I guess she was knocked out for some reason. Oh, she's still
been knocked out a lot.
She was knocked out because of she saw how ugly she was. Yes.
Right. Is she still ugly?
No, she's pretty now.
Oh, okay.
So
that's all that matters.
Exactly. So they leave through the side door. They open up cargo bay 2.
Cargo bay is open,
and the Leprechaun gets sucked out into space. He goes through like these horrible 3D movie maker filters of him expanding and shrinking, and then he explodes.
Finally, that's how you kill a leprechaun.
It said Leprechaun 4 in space.
In space, and that is what happens.
That's exactly how Spacey got it. But anyway, the self-destruct sequence is still going.
No,
so they got to figure out the password. So all 3 of them are there now, and they're trying to figure it out. Like, what did he say? What was it? Do you think he was a genius? No, he thought he was a wizard, and they used the word wizard. And it stops it. And
that's what it was. That's a wizard.
And it stops, and they're all so happy. Immediately, the vibe changes in the room. It's suddenly super horny. Tina starts making out with Books like immediately. And I'm just like, why? There was like no chemistry before. What's going on?
What about Styx?
And Styx is like, "Oh, no, for me, I get it. That's cool."
Then
but then they all hug each other. And I'm like, these motherfuckers aren't going to fuck each other.
Well, yeah.
We're going to have a little threesome here. And then they look outside and they see the leprechaun's finger and it's flipping them off. And that's the end of the movie.
Styx is like, they'll call me Styx for nothing.
Hey! No leprechauns popping out of here.
That's right. All right. What a bad film.
It's terrible.
I hated this movie.
It was so bad, dude.
This was bad. It was like bad in the worst way. Like there were definitely moments that were fun, but like all the connective tissue was just awful.
Like my last maybe like, I don't know, 2 minutes of me explaining that movie lasted for like 15 minutes. It took forever to get through.
Yeah.
It was just so boring.
Where is Zarina? Zarina's fine?
She's just sleeping somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to wind up in like a 4-away, you know?
I mean, maybe. I mean, the vibe of that ship, it seemed very horny.
Pretty
all of a
hot.
sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, this was a bad film. It's really upsetting. Like, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen these kinds of movies, but it is really upsetting to just go like, man, like every woman in this movie is sexualized and every man in this movie is just there.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're all like dumb. Even the guys are just pretty bland. They're just like, this guy's a horny guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a horny guy and he reads books.
And it's like Tina, wait, Tina? Is Tina one of the characters? Yeah, Tina's like sexualized for no reason.
She does get her pants ripped off at one point, and she's running around in her.
Well, she's the one that's also like the
Scientist.
Leprechaun too. Remember the Leprechaun like poses as her.
Oh yes, that's true.
That
yes,
happens.
That's very true.
Like the actor has to go through
Dolores
that.
is horny.
Dolores is horny all the time. Zarina's obviously like literally a sex object.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's how I felt very porny.
Yeah.
It was literally like every character's
porny.
so thin.
Yeah.
That they're just like this leprechaun guy got in the way. He stopped the porn shoot.
Only he wasn't there.
I would love that. I would love the lore that if this was going to be a porn shoot, but then they're like, well,
the leprechaun shows
up. And they're like, no one wants to watch that leprechaun fuck.
I'd watch that Leporn Con.
Oh, you watch that leprechaun? Hey,
where
leprechaun.
It's like a porn movie. Yeah.
Is there any do you think this actually was a porn shoot? Can you like give a little insight?
Oh yeah, it definitely was a porn shoot. It was gonna be one, and then I show up, and then I ruined everything.
You really killed the vibe, huh?
I really killed the vibe. I was like, I came in unannounced, ruined everything, annoyed everybody.
Huh? I can't. That sounds familiar. You've always done this.
It appears that that's just your MO, I guess.
Oh, that's absolutely what I love doing. And you know what? Kills the vibe, but makes me quite horny.
Yeah.
Where's that whiskey bottle, Michael? You got the one with the right sized hole.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's got to be an Irish whiskey. You know why?
Levitt. Yeah.
That's why to make the certain hole the right size. No one says that. They're like, oh, it has to be from Ireland.
All right, let's get him a bottle so that we can finish
give
this
him a bottle
episode
so
up.
take us out of here.
Yeah.
Mike.
Guys, have you ever been to space? Email us at emailtheotherhalfpodcast.com. Let us know. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Threads. And if you want to listen to the previous
Elon, I need to go home.
Watch Till You Can't episodes, you can find them on any podcatching app. And while you're there, please leave a 5-star rating.
What do you mean it crashed?
And review. And if you leave a 5-star rating, we'll read it in the show no matter what it says, even if you are Elon Musk. We'll read it. I don't care. If you listen to our podcast, fucking shout us out on Twitter or X.
X, dude.
Yeah.
X gonna
shout
give
us
it
out.
to you.
X gonna give it to you. So now, the momentous occasion.
Oh, man, I didn't even think about this.
Yeah, we have to make a decision. Ethan had forgotten. He had completely forgotten that we had to decide whether to watch more Leprechaun movies. We have 2 more,
You're
right?
telling me there's an out? There's 2 more. We have. I encourage you to re-listen to our episode of Leprechaun in the Hood if we do go forward with this.
Yeah, which we still have yet to do ourselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was waiting for the right moment. I had to know the lore beforehand because
Sure,
clearly
sure,
these are
sure.
so connected. That's kind of the thing that's kind of annoying, right? Is none of these connect to each other at all.
I hate that it upsets me so much, but yeah,
It kind of, but also like that's the point, right? They're not
Yeah.
supposed to be connected,
no.
and so they could do fun things with it. So when they don't do fun things with it, it's kind of more frustrating.
I agree with you.
Right, so like this should be really funny, but the reason like the Hellraiser one's so funny is because it still connects with the other movies and like creates a weird lore.
Right.
You know, say true about Underworld, but at least all those stupid ass movies connected somehow.
It feels fair in those moments to judge all the other movies because they feel connected. Whereas in this, it's like, are you really gonna judge like I don't know?
But do we think Leprechaun in the Hood and Leprechaun Back to the Hood are connected?
They have to be.
They have to be.
They
right?
have to be.
There's got to be some connective tissue between those.
Yeah.
So
well,
I think I'm definitely gonna have to listen to our old episode.
Okay. We are gonna have
If
to
we
listen
do
to it
that.
because we don't remember, right?
Huh?
We don't remember. You don't remember anything about
No, I don't
Leprechaun in the Hood,
Do
right?
you remember anything from Leprechaun in the Hood?
No. And so I'm wondering, should we rewatch that movie?
Wait, do you think we could just rewatch it? Because I don't remember anything.
I don't remember a damn thing. Which means
This is like a remaster.
Yeah, which means we have 3 movies to watch, not just 2.
Ooh, what would be kind of fun is if that'd be kind of hard to do.
What?
No, I'll talk about it offline.
Okay, but yeah. So what do we do? Are we gonna keep watching these Leprechaun movies? We have 2 more left. I mean, I feel like we've reached the bottom of the barrel, and one of them doesn't even have fucking Warwick Davis in it. He's not in the last
The
one.
last one is a reboot.
It's a reboot, right?
Which
With
is-
another little person.
But that's intriguing.
Is it?
Well, how do you reboot a movie that doesn't even have like
And it was
lore behind him?
It was rebooted in like not even recently, right? It was like rebooted in like 2010 or something.
Yeah,
Like
it was like 2010 or 2015 or something like.
yeah, like a
Oh,
while.
no, 2018. That's a while ago, but it's
It's
not
a while
that
ago,
long
but it's not that long ago.
It's like
But
6 years ago.
Clearly, they're not making any more of them. They're gonna just reboot it again, if anything. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm out. I don't want to watch anymore. But it's up to you. I don't want to watch anymore. Here's what I'll say. How about this? I don't want to watch anymore, but I will watch more if we watch the 2 Leprechaun in the Hood movies.
I do really like that idea.
Because we don't remember a goddamn
I don't
thing.
remember anything about it.
I don't remember. I only remember, I think, one scene of him dressed like a pimp.
There's one scene I remember of him taking a puff of weed.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, him dressed like a pimp and him smoking weed. That's all I remember.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do
Let's do it. Let's watch both of those
We're gonna
movies.
watch them
because
again.
I want to know if they're connected. If they're not, I'm gonna be upset, and we're definitely not watching anymore.
What have I done?
I don't want to watch this fucking Leprechaun Return shit. If that's the case.
Me neither. Good night, everybody.